working with your child, or you are still at the fence, you're still trying to figure out what it is that you're supposed to be doing with your child. What we do definitely works. It works. We know it works. We have clinical evidence. We have scientific evidence. But what we do is useless if there is nobody to implement what we are talking about. So every time I come here, I share with you my clinical experience and scientifically evidenced protocols that we implement successfully. It's not uncommon to get this kind of beautiful feedbacks. It's really not uncommon. But equally, it's only for the few that are able to implement these protocols. Even I, Natsayi, I must admit, it was not just an easy journey. My son is actually at 8 points. So Mama has done 3 points on ATEC. That's really amazing. Joshua is on 8 points. And this year was the slowest of most of the years that we've had, because we bout of regression at some point. I'm not going to be talking about that because that's not on the agenda for me to talk to you guys about. So we had a bit of regression this year with my son, but he still is making progress and is currently on 8 points. For those that don't know what I'm talking about, why is Natsayi excited about a mom who's on TikTok saying her daughter has got 3 points on ATEC? We are talking about the ATEC score. I spoke about the ATEC score quite a number of times here. It's a tool that we use to measure the severity or the complexity of our children, those that have got a diagnosis of autism. As you've heard me say, we are not hyper-focused on the diagnosis because we do not manage the diagnosis. It's not sleep issues. It's not autism. Hyperactivity is not autism. Aggression is not autism. Hand biting is not autism. All the symptoms that our children express that are associated with autism can actually be managed out, and our children can live healthy lives. And I can say with Stan, it's been a journey with this beautiful soul that is on TikTok right now, sharing her story. It's been a journey for her. She has had to sacrifice. She has had to sacrifice, not little, a lot. She doesn't miss her appointments. She runs her labs, and she is a good student. She will not even put a teaspoon of curry into her daughter's diet without me saying yes, and oh, that's okay. That's how vigilant she's been on this journey. And and I remember when correct me if I'm wrong on TikTok, and I remember at some point when she got, I think it was on 10 points on ATEC, I was like, you can go away, have a good time. You don't need to see me. And she was like, no, Natsayi, I still need to see you. And she came back for her follow-up, and now we are on 3 points. So it requires a lot of sacrifices, beautiful souls. It requires a lot of but belief. And I remember her testimonial. She was actually saying to me, because I asked her this question, what would you say to a mom who's sitting on the fence and they're thinking about it? And she was saying, you must believe. You've got to believe. That's all she kept going. You must believe that this is going to work. And she had done so many things. But she was doing things, like we all do initially, where we just do this supplement there, try this diet for 5 minutes and do it like that. And we came in and we did therapeutic protocols that are based on labs. So I'm really proud of her story, and I hope for those that are on TikTok, you can hook up with her and you can talk to her. For those that are here with me, I'm happy to share her testimony. She has been an amazing person. She's Rosie. She's in there with you. Ask her that question. She will give you those answers. 3 points on ATEC. Really proud of her. Really, we've had a few drops this year. I've had about 3 kids that have gone below 5 points. For some, I've worked with them for over 2 years. For some, 1 year. For some, I think for the majority of the children that we consider, for most of these moms that I've worked with, we've been together for over a year. Okay, so it's not just a one-off. It's not a swift journey. There's no magic wand. So I was asking, when I started, before I saw her on TikTok, I was asking the question, what protocols have you started with your child? What are you doing with your child? If you're not working with anybody, What are you doing? Or if you're working with somebody, what are you doing with your child? Today, I wanted to share some of the 10 things that we've done in clinic that have given us a lot of success. And these are low-hanging fruits. Last week in the deep dive community, I spoke about them as well. So I wanted to leave that here with you guys so that you can know that most of the things that Natsayi really talks about, they are not really unreachable. They are not like there. They are right here with you. These are things that we can implement. The only catch there is it must be strategic. And that's the catch. It must be strategic. It must be implemented in a timely manner, right? So for some of my parents, they will tell you, like in this case, they will tell you they would come with all these things, and I'll say, no, stop. The reason I ask them to stop those things that they come in with is not necessarily that what they are doing is not correct. What they may be doing is like they'll be trying to jump the gun. So they're going ahead of their child, and we need to start healing from within and foundation upwards. So no point jumping, like you guys have heard me say. For some of my children that come into clinic, they're all on all these metals, and I practically just stop them. Not saying what's wrong with metals. It's great to have your child on metals, but if your child's liver is not functioning well, you're going to be what, right? If your child is constipated, what's going to be happening? So really working with our children from a foundational level and going up is the key for success. Okay, it's the key for success. So for some of my beautiful parents, they will actually tell you that, we've had to revise a lot of things. We've had to correct a lot of things. Sometimes we start, sometimes we stop, sometimes we increase, sometimes we reduce. It's a dance. But it must be strategic. Not just one day you start your child on this and then you stop. You start your child on that and then you stop. You implement this and then you stop. It really doesn't work like that. Sometimes we really have to push a little bit harder. But for some children, we just have to go very, very slowly based on the way the child is responding. So again, I'm going to ask that question. And the reason I'm asking is because I want to share some of these low-hanging fruits that we've already spoken about. 2025, in Acts 2025, that's me. My focus in 2025 was to address what we call the low-hanging fruits. And as I can see the trajectory 2020, 2026, we are going to readdress those again, because this has been the biggest year for me. It's been the year with the big bang, if it makes sense. The year that I think we had so many wins, right? But those wins were done because we really came back home. We moved from being so far away and coming back to what the body really needs to heal. Okay, so for those that have been with me since 2025 January, you probably know what I'm about to tell you, right? And for those that have been working with me, you probably know what I'm about to tell you. So we're going to repeat those things again, most of those things again in 2026. There are going to be a few differences here and there in 2026, because I think we need to give a little bit of focus to some subjects like mold toxicity, as well as dealing with parasites. I never really got to talk about them this year, because there was quite a lot to talk about, but parasites are a big issue in this community. What are some of the low-hanging fruits that we did say some magic with? And I'm not saying, when I'm saying magic, guys, I'm really like saying magic. What do you guys think was on top of the list that gave us the biggest results? So when I'm talking about the biggest results, I'm talking about something that we did with the child that gave us a lot of drops in ATEC points, something that really gave us a lot of wows. Okay, what do you think that we did? For those that I hear, you probably tell me that. Constipation. If I can tell you, more than 70, if I can easily say 80% of the children that come to me in clinic, they're constipated. Constipation, right, was on top of the list. And it's one thing that we have seen amazing results when we addressed. I know constipation is a little bit of an issue. It's not a little bit, it's a big issue in when it comes to our children. Why? Because when your child is constipated, they are going to recycle those hormones that are supposed to be getting out of the system. So constipation, we consider constipation a red flag. I'm not going to talk about constipation a lot because I've talked about constipation forever. But constipation is one of the biggest red flag. So when a child comes to me in clinic and they are constipated, everything else stops, and we deal with the constipation, and boom, the child comes out on the other side. And I can hear mom saying, that I've tried to deal with this constipation forever and it doesn't go away. Yes, it kind of just doesn't easily go away for a number of reasons, because there are a lot of drivers to constipation. So constipation is not just caused by your child not eating a lot of fruits and vegetables. It's not like that. There are a number of things that can actually make our children constipated. Even the thyroid. If the thyroid is not doing well, the child is going to get constipated. Natsayi, thyroid, the little kid, I've had to address thyroid. I've had to support the thyroid a number of times in clinic over this year. It's unbelievable the amount of children that come in with thyroid issues.